If you're a Filipino struggling with your energy, your health, and your confidence, you're at the right place. Now, before we get started, grab a piece of pen and paper because this video alone will answer so many questions and break so many limiting beliefs that has stopped you from achieving your goals. Make sure to watch the entire video before your call because there's a lot of information in here to help you better understand why you're stuck, why you're not seeing results, and how we can guarantee you results. We get over 15 applications daily, so please make sure you show up on time because this takes opportunity from other men who also need help. With that said, I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step process we use to help Teddy lose over 50 pounds, beat diabetes, have more energy, and finally rebuild his self-confidence. Because of this change, Teddy finally felt like the man she deserved and finally proposed to his fiancée. Special shout out to Teddy, congratulations, man. We use the exact same process to help Dex in his 40s lose over 45 pounds, beat diabetes, and more importantly, give him more energy to spend time with his son and become the role model he wanted to be. We've also helped CJ, Efrain, Arv, and hundreds of other Filipino men do the same. So if they can do it, there's absolutely no reason you can't. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alex Mendoza. I've been in the industry for close to 10 years now, and I specialize in muscle hypertrophy and metabolic manipulation, really focusing on helping men lose the weight, but more importantly, building the right habits, the right mindset to keep it off, and actually turning this into a lifestyle. Now, I started this business because I wanted to help other Filipino men break this generational cycle of health issues that has ultimately stopped us from being more present with our families, being viewed as an equal or leaders by society, or even chasing goals we never felt good enough for. Growing up, I really struggled with anxiety and self-confidence, so I know what it's like. And as an immigrant, I was heavily bullied, and being around non-Filipinos, I was always the smallest, the weakest. I always had to work 5 times harder just to be given a chance. I grew my hair out because I wanted to hide my Filipino features, my eyes, my ears, and you can just see how unhappy I looked. I mean, this was a school photo. You know, I was at an amusement park, and as a kid, you'd think you'd be super excited, but I just hated photos. That was me when I was super young. And this unhappiness, this insecurities really translated to the relationships within myself, but also my family, my friends, and the people around me. As I grew older in my early 20s, my lack of confidence made it so difficult for me to find jobs. I lacked leadership skills and speaking skills, and it made it really difficult for me to financially provide for myself and for my ex. I was so focused on penny pinching that I didn't even realize that if I just invested into myself, it would accelerate my growth. And get this, after 4 years together, she cheated on me with her boss. This threw me in an absolute state of depression. I started to party more, I started to drink more. I mean, she wasn't a good influence to me in the first place. Here's a photo of me with a can of alcohol, absolutely wasted, not a moment I was proud of. It's so important for you to recognize that the people you surround yourself with ultimately becomes the person you are. If no one around you is focused on their health, focused on growth and progression, you can't expect yourself to be the same. You can't expect to grow. I don't know if you've heard of this saying, if you have 5 alcoholic friends, you're the sixth. It's super important to surround yourself with like-minded people, people with a growth mentality, and even people that are a few steps ahead of you, so you're exposed to new standards and have something to work towards. After she cheated on me, this put me in a massive state of depression. Whenever I looked in the mirror, I wasn't proud of the person I was. I didn't feel happy with the direction I was headed. My life felt meaningless, and I hated my job and everything around me. I started to self-sabotage, and I didn't even realize that the root cause of it was because of my internal insecurity. I didn't feel good enough. I wasn't proud of who I was. And when I came to that realization, it started to make a change, my life turned. The gym taught me so many lessons, perspectives, and confidence that has dramatically changed my life. I built my own 7-figure business before my 30s. I've been sober for over 4 years. I rebuilt my relationships with my family after again realizing that it was my own insecurities that pushed them away. I don't care what people think of me anymore. I do what makes me happy. And this energy, this person I became allowed me to meet my amazing fiance who has the same work ethic, the same drive, the same goals, vision, and mission. Because in this world, you attract who you are. Your energy creates opportunities and the world treats better looking people better. And I know that sucks to hear, but that's an unfortunate reality. The way you look, behave, and present yourself influences the outcome of your opportunity. You make more money, you make better friends, and life is just so much better. I want more and more people to go through the same journey because life has so much to offer, so much more than you even realize. And I speak this with so much passion because I know what it's like. I've been there before, and I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't take a chance in myself and if I didn't embrace discomfort. With that said, grab a pen and paper, take some notes, because there's a ton of value in this short video. Now, I've created the evolution program in 4 different stages. Stage 1, vision and mission. Stage 2, energy. Stage 3, movement and confidence. And finally, stage 4, sustainability. Vision and mission is probably the most important piece of the puzzle and is a process I like to take all my clients through. Now, before your call, you must get this clear. What is your vision and what is your mission? To succeed in this journey, your why needs to be so strong. Now, this is an activity I like to take all my clients through. So on a piece of paper, answer this question, and I want you guys to actually put effort into this. No surface level answers. 1. What will losing this weight do for you physically, emotionally, and mentally? I'll give you a few minutes. You can even pause the video. Really think about it. Let me know when you're done. So number 2, having more confidence, more energy, and a better health. How would that impact you, family, or even your future family? Will this confidence help you overcome anxiety and depression? Will it encourage you to go on more dates, meet your future wife, feel good enough? Would it improve your mindset to create more opportunities? Maybe pursue certain goals like building that business, demanding that promotion? Again, take your time with it. Pause this video if you need to. I want you to really think about it. When you have that clear, I want you to now think about how will the rest of your life look if you don't change now? What's the cost of not taking action mentally, physically, emotionally? Where do you think you'll be in 5 years if you don't take that chance and continue to let fear, continue to let laziness and procrastination hold you back? Take your time. I know you're just watching me through a video, but I want you to really feel like I'm there with you, walking you through this journey. Because again, to make sure you succeed, your vision and mission needs to be clear. Now, when you're done, I want you to keep this piece of paper and bring it with you on your call. But also, I want you to look at it every time you feel lazy and unmotivated as a reminder of why losing this weight, again, needs to happen. Training and nutrition, that's stock standard, but what we do here is beyond that. The real reason you've been stuck for years is because of this. Your current actions don't align with your desired future, and you don't know how to remove limiting beliefs. Mindset will play a heavy role in our success, and we're going to help you uncover all these bottlenecks that you probably didn't even realize. Once our why is clear, we then move on to part 2. Because again, nothing will work if your mindset and your vision are not aligned. I also find it extremely difficult to help clients who do not have the right mindset. Filipinos that are stubborn and stuck in their old ways don't usually do well. So as long as you come in with an open mind, willing to learn, willing to take action, make a change, I can guarantee that you will see results. And I totally understand from a cultural perspective. We were taught to figure things out on our own, but that's actually the wrong lesson to teach. Because if you could have, you would have been able to solve certain problems years ago and you wouldn't be here watching this video. So let me show you how we use our NRFL method to help Filipino men lose weight, improve their energy, health, and confidence while being able to maintain our lifestyle and cultural commitments. Because let's be honest, food, especially rice, is a big part of our culture. It's connection, it's memories, and it also represents respect. The biggest mistakes Filipinos make is following restrictive diets, cutting out rice, following keto, eating 1 meal per day, and even fasting for extreme hours, sometimes even days. And you've probably experienced it. It's not sustainable. It also damages your metabolic health, making it more difficult for you to lose weight, especially as you get older. Now, this graph is a representation of your metabolism. As you can see, EAT, also known as exercise activity thermogenesis, is only 10% of your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure. Now, 60% of your calories burned through the day is actually through your BMR, also known as your basal metabolic rate. So for those of you who think you need a personal trainer to lose 30, 50, and even 100 pounds, you don't, because exercise is only 10% of the fat loss process, and what you really need is education, guidance, adaptability, and how to actually implement these strategies within the Filipino lifestyle. Also, not to mention, it doesn't really take much to become a personal trainer either. You can get certified in about 3 months. The way I've curated this process is placing a lot of emphasis in valuing flexibility and connection, allowing you to eat foods you enjoy and still be a part of those family meals. And let me show you how we do that. So firstly, we need to understand how many calories you need to eat to lose weight. So we've designed this calorie calculator, which I've also left in the description of this video, so you can try it out yourself to figure out your starting point. So when you open this document, just put in your name, Alex Mendoza. You can skip down to height, which would be 170 centimeters for me, and then enter your body weight in kilos, which would be 75. And all you need to do to convert pounds into kilos is divided by 2.2. For age, you can put in your age, let's just say 35. Gender, male, activity levels for most of you guys, it will probably be around light or sedentary. And this will spit out your daily maintenance intake, which in this situation is 2,352 calories. Now, I want you guys to head over to Limit Protein and make sure yes is selected, and I want your limit to be the same number as your height. So let's just say 170 centimeters. Now for selection, just head down and go over to weight loss. Don't select extreme loss yet. It might be a bit too aggressive and we don't want to burn yourself out. Again, our goal here is sustainability. Now, if you move to the column to the right, it says target. And here are your protein goals, your carb goals, your fat goals, and your calorie goals. Now for fats, generally we like to keep it between 25 to 20%. Again, let's start 25 just to keep things on the higher side of things and gradually decrease. Since it's 25%, we need to change this to 75% to make a total of 100%. If we head over to this column over here, which is target, it will represent your protein intake, your carb intake, your fat intake, and your calorie intake. Now, of course, we do some manual adjustments based on the individual. I personally think that 39 grams of fat might be a little bit low, so I'll probably increase that to about 30 and then decrease our carb intake to about 70. And it's important to know that these calculators are not 100% accurate, right? But we combine this information with our experience and our knowledge to make further adjustments to find your true calorie deficit. So generally speaking, our target goal for weight loss is about 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. So for example, if you're 300 pounds, you can expect to lose 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds per week. Or that would be 6 to 12 pounds per month. Now, there's a lot of different things to consider as well that may impact your weight loss goals per week or per month, but these are general guidelines. Now, we don't want you to lose weight too fast because again, our goal here is sustainability, so you can continue to keep the weight off. Now, calories are made out of macros and micronutrients. Calories determine whether or not you gain or lose weight, and macros and micros will influence how you feel and how you look. Macros include protein, which can be found in meat, and they're made out of a chemical building block called amino acids. Now, amino acids is to build and repair muscles, and 1 gram of protein equates to 4 calories. You also have carbohydrates, which is your primary fuel source, and your body breaks this down to glucose. And there's 2 types of carbohydrates. There's simple carbs, which is broken down by your body quickly, giving you a quick source of energy. So if you want to have, let's say, for example, rice, 30 to 60 minutes before working out is a perfect time. If you want, you can also have rice throughout the day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We just need to figure out exactly how much rice you can eat without feeling sluggish or tired. We also have complex carbs, which takes a little bit longer to digest. This is great for keeping you fuller and for a more sustainable form of energy. Now, 1 gram of carbohydrate equals 4 calories. Then we have fats, which is your secondary source of energy. They help absorb vitamins and regulate hormone production. Now remember, fats do not make you fat. They play an important role just like proteins and carbs. Not eating enough fats can actually hurt your testosterone production, which ultimately slows down your rate of fat loss and your ability to build muscle. Not to mention, this will impact your mood as well. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, and fat sources are typically more calorie dense, so just something to keep in mind. When it comes to designing your meal plan, there are other variables outside of just your calories and macros that we need to also take into consideration. We need to figure out what your work schedule looks like, what foods you like to eat, and if you have kids or a family, what do they like to eat? How often do you travel to work? What are your break times? Because again, our goal here is sustainability and balance, and ultimately your lifestyle will determine what your meals and meal plan can look like. Here's an example of one of our clients, Ephraim. Now, Ephraim works long hours behind a desk and he used to really struggle with his relationship with food. So we wanted to make sure that he actually enjoyed the food that he eats. Now for meal 1, he's having a breakfast burrito. For those of you that don't like to eat breakfast, you don't have to. Ephraim actually enjoys it. And check out the ingredients. He has a tortilla wrap, turkey bacon, and even low-fat cheese. For meal 2, he's having a teriyaki bowl, and yes, there's rice. For meal 3, he's having Rice Krispies and a Reese's Pieces cup. Yeah, he's having chocolate and snacks while he's losing weight. And for dinner, he's having a beef loaded potato bowl. Sometimes he even eats burgers. We've also created another meal variation for Ephraim so he doesn't get bored. Now, this spreadsheet may look a little bit complicated, but we'll teach you how to use it. And we've designed it in a way to make it super user-friendly. All meal plans are manually created by our coaches, of course. Now, I don't believe in AI because everybody is so different. Every client is appointed their own coach because I think it's really important to build a genuine relationship. This allows us to better understand your lifestyle, your preferences, and if you ever get bored or want to make changes, all you need to do is just let us know. We'll workshop ideas together to make sure it's realistic and something you actually enjoy. This process is collaborative and we need to work together for you to succeed. But if you want to be adventurous, you can make substitutions here. If you click this drop-down menu, it will showcase a series of different products. You'll notice that we even have Chick-fil-A Egg White Grill, Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Sandwich, and I think we might even have some Jollibee in there as well. We've also added a new feature where you can select recipes and this will automatically adjust the portion sizing. to make sure it fits your calories and macro goals. And over here, we have a grocery list, which shows you exactly how many grams you need to purchase per week to make that process a lot easier, and just another thing you don't have to think about. Over here, we have a food library. You don't have to use this, but it's an added tool or feature that we did integrate. So for example, if you're missing 40 grams of protein, just select food type protein, macro goal protein, and open up the library of different products. As you can see, we have Chick-fil-A over here. You can have lamb, you can have, let's say, for example, pork, but for the heck of it, let's just use scallop as an example. It will automatically show your serving size, your calories, how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats. But at the very start, leave everything to us. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed, and we actually want to be able to teach you how to use our tools first. Now, for those of you who travel or might have limited access to food, that's no problem. Jairo here pretty much lives in a hotel because of his work commitments and is constantly in a plane. The only thing he has access to is a microwave. That's right, a microwave. But we're still able to make it work. I mean, look at his before and after. How? Because we got to understand his body, his lifestyle, and his preferences. We communicated constantly, so we're able to make adjustments in real time. Meal prep doesn't have to take long, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Even if you need to eat takeout, we can make it work. Some of you watching this might be considering meal prep companies. And just like fad diets, yes, they work. But the minute you stop buying their products, what happens? You put the weight back on. You become reliant on it because it doesn't teach you the hows and the whys. You won't know what to do or what to change when your body hits a plateau. Our goal here is to teach you the whys and the hows. Explain to you exactly what we're doing so you can learn as you go. That way, you won't ever have to rely on a doctor, a nutritionist, or trainer to actually keep that weight off. And I always like to use this analogy, right? Imagine your car breaks down. You take it to the mechanic to get it fixed. But then when it breaks down again, you have to take it back to the mechanic. What we want to show you is actually how to fix your car so that if something happens in the future, you know how to fix it yourself. Education is what all Filipino men are missing and why the weight keeps coming back. Now, doing step 2 alone can help you lose the first 10, 20, maybe even 30 pounds. As I said, exercise is only 10% of your daily expenditure. You don't need to step foot in the gym, but it definitely helps. Building more muscle can improve your testosterone, your mood, your energy, and even metabolism. We need to remember that fitness is just a vehicle. It's an unlock to having more energy to play with your kids, more confidence to seek for career advancements, or maybe even go on more dates, find your future wife. A lot of Filipinos I speak to struggle with their confidence, and again, I've been there before, but I'm sure all of you have experienced leaving the gym after a really good session. You feel great. You feel like you can take over the world. We want to show you how you can sustain this feeling because it's not always about how we look. It's about how we feel about ourselves. We want to do this efficiently so it's not taking away from your family, your hobbies, or your career. Now, when it comes to training, there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's not about heavy weights versus lightweight. It's not about high reps versus low rep. It's not about compound exercises or machine exercises. It's not about changing your workouts every week to shock the muscle. You don't need to squat, bench, or deadlift either. That's just outdated forms of thinking. As proven by science, to build muscle, it's about volume progression. Now, I'd love to dive deeper into this, but to keep it super basic, all it means is lifting more weight for more times. Now, most of our guys train 3 times a week. It can be done at home or at the gym. If you can train more, great. But 3 times a week, 1 hour per session, it's more than enough if done right. Again, I don't believe in AI, templates, or cookie cutter programs. When it comes to building your program, we look at 3 different things: your calendar, your body, and your goals. How many times throughout the week can you realistically go to the gym? Is it once, twice, 5 times? Whatever it is, your training structure needs to be in balance with your schedule. There's no magic workout routine. Again, it really depends on each individual. But we need to train all muscle groups to avoid injuries, especially as you age. To keep things very simple, what exercises, what order, how many sets, how many reps will be heavily influenced on your current physical state. We'll conduct a body analysis to determine which areas we need to focus on. If you have any injuries, we can focus on strengthening the surrounding muscle groups to remove any pains and pressure, and also use specific exercises to work around it. Your routines will be available through our app, which changes as we progress through each training phase. A training phase is typically broken down into 12-week periods and divided into 3 phases to avoid plateaus. It's important for us to understand that our body is an adaptive mechanism, and to continue to grow, we need to adjust accordingly. Again, this timeline is subject for change. It's a benchmark, and it might change from person to person depending on your travel plans, your work schedule, and a few other variables. There are layers of complexity that occur within program adjustments and design. If you want to learn more, you can always watch my other videos on YouTube. Every exercise on your plan has a video attached where I personally break down how to use the correct technique. We also require you to send a video for constant feedback to make sure you're training correctly and avoiding injuries. Again, what we do here is provide education. So we want to teach you how muscle groups work, muscle anatomy, so you understand how to move your body and connect with your body better. This is done through our weekly group calls where we come together as a group and share challenges, perspectives, and potential solutions to be able to help you see results even faster. And that's on top of your one-on-one sessions, of course, with myself or your coach, so we can really dive into your specific situation and implement specific strategies towards your problem. We also cover things like mindset, nutrition, energy, management, and productivity hacks because again, fitness is just a vehicle and our goal for you is to help you advance in your career, strengthen your relationship with your friends and family, but most importantly, yourself. Feel proud of the person you see every time you look in the mirror. And if you're curious how these calls go, you can always watch some of the videos I published on YouTube if you'd like. Finally, we have step number 4, which focuses on sustainability. Losing the weight is great, but our goal is to keep the weight off and turn this into a lifestyle. I'm sure you've tried things in the past, keto, fasting, whatever fad diet it was. You lose the weight or do well for a few weeks, but then gain all the weight back or even fall off. These fad diets, they don't work with the Filipino lifestyle. You're using the wrong method, and so many Filipinos go too hard, too fast, only to burn themselves out. Our objective here is to give you the accountability, the education, the knowledge and roadmap so you know exactly what you need to do. Learn how to overcome plateaus and moments when you feel unmotivated. We will be there with you every step of the way to give you that kick in the ass that you need and that guidance when you return to your old habits. As I mentioned before, we have a powerful Filipino community who are or were in your shoes. You can always reach out to them for help or different perspectives. I'm super passionate about the community we built. It has this brother-like feeling where everyone keeps each other accountable and there for not only fitness, but when things get tough as well. If you're watching this video, I know you have a booked call with me or my team, and I'll just be completely honest with you, it's exhausting speaking to skeptics. It drains our energy, it's a waste of your time, and it's a waste of our time. All I want to do is to genuinely be able to help, and I know we can. So to give you proof, I'm going to go over live conversations and case studies from existing and past members, because I want our call to be focused on you and be super valuable for your time. Not about whether or not this works, because it does. So we're going to hop on our computer again. These are all our new clients, but let's go look up Teddy. So this is Teddy's profile. As you can see at charts, I'm going to click over weight and let's go look at all time. As you can see, from May to November, he went from 302 pounds all the way down to 252. And to this day, after the program, Teddy's continuing to lose weight and actually being able to do it on his own. I can even share with you guys the check-ins. We have 3 different pages here. His very first one was on 20th of May. And let's look at some comparisons. 10th of November, let's go look at the very beginning. And as you can see here, look at the difference. And I can't fake this. I can't. And if you don't believe me, I don't know what else to show you, but look at the skin condition. Look at his smile, the confidence, right? Look at the difference in his stomach. Of course, Teddy still has some way to go, but he was stuck for 5 to 6 years. He was pre-diabetic, struggled with his energy, and as I said, recently he proposed because he finally felt confident and finally felt good enough. If I go over to gallery, as you can see here, we have a library of images. And again, I can't fake this, guys. This is real. And to even add another layer to that, here's his training log. And you know what? While we're here, let me show you a couple more examples. Let's go look at Dex. Again, let's look at his check-ins. So right now, he's 205 pounds. I think this is a little bit older because he was sick or traveling. I mean, like, look at the messages we're having. Thanks for believing in me and for making me believe in myself again. Now I just got to get over being sick. That genuinely gave me goosebumps. And I was like, crack that 200 already, man. Again, it's just real people wanting to make a change. Let's look at his chart. Let's, again, all time. And let's go to weight. Look at that, right? From 246, and now he's at 200 pounds, roughly, give or take. Now let's go look for Kevin here. Now, Kevin is slightly smaller, but his primary goal was to overcome his depression, his anxiety. When I first met Kevin, he was telling me about the times he would stay at home, skip work, and didn't have the confidence to be able to lead his team. I actually posted an interview with him, so if you want to watch that whole video, you can, again, check out the YouTube. But here, 43 weeks. As you can see, Kevin working out, and here's one of his check-in submissions. If you go to log, go to workouts, everything is recorded. And here's a quick example of what Kevin's doing. And here again, all the videos, as I said, are attached on the app as well, just to make the whole process a little bit easier. Let's look up CJ. He's one of our OGs over here. When CJ started, he had a massive drop. But around this time, our goal for Christmas was just maintenance due to all the family events he was having. And then he got sick, so his weight started to go up very slightly. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is to show complete transparency that weight loss is not linear. However, it's important to understand and learn how to navigate through these situations so that you don't spike back up. CJ maintained his weight. I think he even lost a little bit more weight during Christmas. which he wasn't able to do before. And that to him is a massive win. If we go to check-ins, there's 4 pages of submissions. Let's open one up for example. As you can see, there's CJ improving his technique on a week-to-week basis. And man, he's gone so far. And I'll put in a before and after of CJ. Crazy difference in physical composition. That's just some of our members, and I can keep going forever. Let me even show you our team's chat. You have Alan, who's down 7 pounds in his first week. You have Vince, who's 1 week into the program, down 7 pounds and eating 2,400 calories. Mark out here is eating pizza. What else we have? Dex, he's 6 pounds away from a 50-pound drop. Pants dropped 3 sizes. Gabriel Torres. Guys, like, you can't fake these results. So as another layer of proof, here's our member dashboard where we can see our members' daily step counts. I built this to create a sense of friendly competition, and they also get rewarded for points of adherence. If we scroll to the top, let me even show you behind the scenes. This is our quality score rating. Every member can rate their coaches out of 10 each week. That way I can make sure everyone's happy and seeing results. Right now, we're averaging a 9.6 and a 9.5. And if I go into the actual submissions, this is being submitted by real people, and these are real check-ins. And as you can see, we have 8s, 9s, and 10s as ratings. We're super passionate about what we do, and we love being able to help people. And that's why it's so easy for us to do and so easy to help all our members get results, because we actually love doing what we do. I'm 100% confident that we can help, but we can only help people that are willing to accept help, willing to make a change, and willing to give themselves another chance. And if you still don't believe me after showing you tons of proof, I don't think would be a good fit, and it's probably best you cancel your call. I know we can change your life, but I don't know what else I can show you. The best results come from people that are willing to trust us and willing to give themselves another chance to succeed. Transparently, working with us does require an investment. There are a few packages available, and it does depend on what you feel like you need. It is affordable, but regardless, I'm sure you've spent thousands of dollars over the past few years on things you probably didn't need. The money you've spent on takeout, clothes, and maybe even things to compensate for your lack of confidence. Imagine being able to wear a $5 t-shirt and make it look like a $100 t-shirt, or wearing a nice suit and taking out your date or your wife out to dinner. So again, it really comes down to mindset and making this investment a priority. Think about the cost of inaction. How much would it cost you if things got worse? How much has it cost you mentally, physically, and emotionally? How can life look different? To wrap things up, I hope you found the activities insightful and thought-provoking. My team and I are looking forward to meeting you and helping you uncover more challenges to help you finally achieve your true potential. Now, unfortunately, we can't help everyone. If I feel like you're a good fit to our community, have the right mindset, and desire to change, I'll walk you through exactly how our process might look like for you. If we can, I'm more than happy to point you towards the right direction or give you some resources to help you on your journey for the time being. Please be sure to make it on time for your call, as it blocks out an opportunity for someone else who might need help. If you can't make it, let us know so we can reschedule our meeting. To confirm your attendance, just reply to some of the emails you'll get, or just follow these steps you see on the screen right now. Please have Zoom ready to go so we can get started as soon as possible. Be seated behind a desk in a quiet environment with a pen and a piece of paper to take notes, and don't forget to bring the paper you're writing on with you as well. If you're driving, we'll ask you to pull over or reschedule your call just for your safety. We're looking forward to hearing your stories and see how we can help. See you guys on the other side.